Today, Will, who rarely welcomes guests, hosts a mysterious, suit-clad man and leaves Louisa waiting outside. She wonders, is something bad going to happen? Louisa Googles the guest and discovers he's an expert in bringing trouble, immediately notifying Will's mom. They thought Will moved on, yet he's still secretly mulling euthanasia. At his ex-wedding, Will is heard again thinking, if not paralyzed, I'd be up there. Life offers no ifs. He can only watch as his ex-girlfriend marries another. At dinner, a knowledgeable lady asks, what's your view on the groom? She says the groom looks average, while Will, though unremarkable, is the kind of guy you can trust for life. Louisa is silent. Drunk, Louisa sits on Will's lap for fun. He takes her to the dance floor and draws her closer. Will, if not paralyzed, I'd never dare come this close. Louisa, without it, I'd be invisible among the tall beauties. Will once joked she'd end up in a wheelchair. Unexpectedly, it came true so soon and romantically. They drove to a hotel for a memorable night. Will's health posed a major issue. He returned to hospital with pneumonia. Louisa joked to cheer him up, but he couldn't even smile. The nurse caring for Will for 2 years says he sometimes cries at night, runs and skis in dreams, but faces harsh reality upon waking. Subtitles, perhaps for Will. Death represents the ultimate solution, but Louisa absolutely cannot accept his idea of choosing euthanasia. She claims she has planned another trip, and to ensure Will's health, she insists he must join. But her actions have crossed the line for Will. She said, we've been together for 7 years. You've known her for 5 months. Sorry says it all. Louisa's resolve came from her boyfriend's minimal care. Their destination is Hawaii, and Louisa believes a change of scenery will help Will's mindset. Meanwhile, a hunky male caregiver will handle all the activities. Louisa and will just need to relax and enjoy. In the evening, the caregiver warns that it's getting dark and can't let a newly met girl go home alone, and they instantly get the hint. She knew the night would be great, but returning to the hotel with a friend, it rained heavily. Louisa was about to close the door, but Will disagrees, as he loves the feeling of being one with nature. He even suggests Louisa stay. Why don't we just sleep together? After that night, Louisa feels confident about changing Will. The next day, he even suggests she try diving. Louisa can't even swim. After jumping in, she finds diving amazing and feels like she's living life with Will. In fact, Will took her out to introduce Louisa to the wonders of life. She dances by the sea, and while her moves aren't graceful, Will watches her with delight. Louisa sits on Will's lap again and kisses him passionately, believing he's changed his mind. His feelings intensify. Will reveals his euthanasia plan. Louisa exclaims, what? Never seen you like this. I won't be that person. I can only accept this. Louisa tries to persuade Will, I've changed thanks to you in 6 months. Unfortunately, Will changed Louisa, but she failed to change him. Will said together we're tired of each other. Louisa promises that won't happen, but Will still can't bear to see her future. He doesn't want Louisa to hover by his wheelchair or helplessly look at him. I'll call if you have any plans. I want to join you. After returning home, let's go to Switzerland. Will asks Louisa to accompany him. She chokes out, I thought you had changed your mind. Will stands firm, and the 6-month deadline is merely to appease his parents' wishes without family. He chose euthanasia long ago. You're selfish. I wish I'd never taken this absurd job. You know, I wish that I had never met you, Louisa. The next day, they set off home, with Louisa becoming quiet and withdrawn, barely even looking at Will. Face to face, Louisa's eyes lost their spark. Yet, as Will sleeps, she tucks him in silently. She watches him intently, realizing this may be their last moment together. After the flight, Will shines a bright smile, and her mom can't help but caress his face, thinking Louisa's plan has worked. However, when her dad suggests a family dinner, Louisa suddenly wants to go home. Father, eager for more of her stories, invites her to dinner again, but Louisa leaves without a word. Her mother senses trouble and hurries after her. I'm sorry is a death sentence announcing their son's end. Back home, her sister asks anxiously for the results. Louisa can only shake her head, and her sister sobs in despair, knowing how hard Louisa has fought. At dinner, their mom angrily condemns Will's selfishness. Shouldn't his parents watch him die? But her sister gives the same answer as Will's dad. It was his choice, she says. The weight of life suffocated Will, but who can understand that feeling? Louisa feels pain from failing to save Will, yet her dad believes she didn't fail. Persuading a determined person? Hard. Louisa knows persuading Will and being with him aren't conflicting. On the way to Switzerland, she asks her sister, "Did I do the wrong thing?" Her sister comforts her while digging into that question together. In Switzerland, Louisa remains as clumsy as before. Will's parents leave them alone, and she turns lively again. Will asks Louisa to open the door. The sunshine warms his face. He invites her to wrap around him, and she lies in his embrace, listening to Will's heartbeat. Louisa is speechless, but he starts singing a nursery rhyme that she once sang for him when he was sick. Will's parents hold hands tightly in the next room. Though his choice hurts many, as his dad said, it's his decision alone.